Tourism SA has labelled 2021 as the year of the vaccine. It's hoping the industry will rebound after the devastating effects of global lockdowns. Many in the sector are pinning their hopes on this long weekend to kickstart the return to normal travel. Last year, the More Family Collection was forced to close their doors, impacting 800 staff members. To see how things are going, we're joined by Robert Moore, CEO and founder of the More Family Collection. A very good afternoon to you, Robert, and thank you so much for your time. So obviously, things, hopefully at least, have been getting a little easier for the tourism industry, where it's starting to very slowly but surely pick up. Is that the case for the More Family Collection?
Marina, good afternoon. Good afternoon to your viewers. So it's better, still very tough. But we are about 40% of our room inventory is now open. Easter weekend definitely been a huge success, especially very last minute sort of hustle following the president's announcement that there weren't going to be any interprovincial restrictions on travel. So and fundamentally it's allowed us to bring a lot more of our staff back to work. Payroll is not fully restored, and this is a year on. So 12 months, none of our salaries, including myself, have been up near the 100%. The highest level that we're paying for those people who are working is 75%. So still very dire, but we've got to celebrate the small wins, and certainly there is a little bit of momentum in the domestic market.
Robert, obviously a lot of experts and people in different industries have always said that this is a new situation that the world is dealing with, COVID-19, but they've estimated that it's going to take a number of years for industries to get back to normal after being hit by this pandemic. Could that be said the same for tourism, for you guys? Is it going to take you guys a little longer than I suppose you would hope for things to go back to normal?
The domestic travel, for obvious reasons, is going to move quite early and will rebound. I mean, I think people are really interested in getting out and traveling, and there are certain benefits that perhaps a certain portion of the South African market may have wanted to travel internationally and have now been forced to travel domestically. And there's been that's a great opportunity for South Africa to showcase itself. And that has been the case. The problem is that without the international market brings in approximately 40% of our total tourism revenue, which equates to about 120 billion rand a year. Now, without that revenue coming in, we are dealing with almost exclusively with the domestic market, and that's very seasonal. So school holidays, yes. Long weekends, yes. But outside of that, you've got 5 working days which hotels and safari lodges will be quiet. And then your weekends are busy. So, and that's 2 out of 7 days where you're trying to run your business. So very difficult operating in that space, which is extremely seasonal and very dependent upon holidays. But and then in terms of when is the international market going to come back? I mean, I was reading a survey the other day, and 40% of the industry believe it's only going to come back in 2023, another 40% in 2024. So that leaves a 20% thinking that it's going to, I think of that 20%, 5% is only thinking that it's going to come back this year, 15% next year. So we're looking at a very long, hard, slow road to recovery.
Now, Robert, of course, there's been a discussion from the Business Council, that it's going to take quite a bit in terms of massive discounts that are going to be needed to ensure that things go back to normal. This, of course, is the Business Council of South Africa saying this. Do you feel that that's going to perhaps be something that helps in giving discounts, that it makes it easier to generate or bring in larger numbers of people, considering especially that people are themselves struggling, but they do need a holiday from time to time?
Marina, it's an interesting one. I mean, the information, I mean, first of all, we're living in an uncharted environment, so very difficult to ascertain what the reality is that's happening out there in terms of people's incomes. And, I suppose it depends on where you're playing in the tourism market, whether you're at a 5-star luxury level or lower down, and where your LSM group is coming from. But from the articles that I've been reading, there tends to be a real desire to travel, and also a number of people a number of industries. I mean, not all the industries have been impacted like hospitality. So banks, insurance, finance, they are still earning full salaries. Some are doing some of the pharmaceutical, medical industry, tech industry is doing exceptionally well. So I do believe that the ability for travelers to afford to travel is definitely there. We're anticipating that once the travel does rebound, and this is not just my opinion, that there's going to be a real desire to almost, I wouldn't say overspend, but to reward people themselves from being through being past such a difficult period.
Yeah.
So I think it's less about discounting. Sure, I mean, in the domestic market, there is a certain price point that you have to meet. Otherwise, you are going to be outpriced in this market. But from an international point of view, I think South Africa is still a very good offer. And I do believe that the rest of the world is going to be desperate to travel, and they're going to have the budget to do it. So when that sort of pipe unblocks, I do think it's going to rebound, and it is going to rebound quickly. But we've got a long way to go until that happens.
All right, Robert, thank you so much for your time. That is Robert Moore, the CEO and founder of Moore Family Collection.